This is Geometry 6-6, practice number 2, problem number 4. All right, I'm looking at what I have here, and I have a 7, I have a 4, this is the 7, this is the 4, I've got an 11 right here. I know this one also is 7, so I know all these diagonal lengths. Let me see what I'm trying to find here. I'm trying to find BC. Where's B? There's B, there's C. So I'm trying to find BC. So I have the 7, I have this 4, and I'm trying to find BC. So I know these two things right here, 7 and 4. Now, because I'm dealing with diagonals, I'm just going to, my memory goes, wait a minute, I think Mr. Harmless said something about, and I think my note said something about the diagonals are perpendicular. And I just remembered that perpendicular means it makes a right angle. So I'm going to put a little box here to represent my right angle. Now, as soon as I draw this, I'm going to be honest with you. My brain just starts to focus in on just what I drew there, and I'm like, and I start ignoring some other things. I'm like, my mind starts to phase this stuff out here, and phase all of this out here, and phase all of this out here. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm just not really looking at that anymore. I'm not really looking at this anymore. And my mind eliminates all of that stuff except for this right triangle. I'm ignoring everything but it, because I know I'm trying to find this, and I have this, and I have this, and I'm like, wait a minute. And in my memory's jogged, and I start to think back about something else. I think, wait a minute, seems like I remember that teacher talking about something like the Pythagorean theorem. And it seems like that was something to do with right triangles. In my mind, I'm thinking back about that, and it seems like it was something about like the legs, the sides that are next to the right angles were called legs. And it seems like Mr. Harmless labeled one of the legs A, and then he labeled the other one B. And it seems like Mr. Harmless then called this one some weird word that had the word pot in it. Oh yeah, high pot noose. And I remember laughing about that because it said high and it said pot. So hypotenuse is the side that's opposite the right angle. It seems like he said something about it's almost like this thing was pointing at the hypotenuse. And so we've got these three things in it. And then he said something that jogged a memory from even back further in my mind, that the two legs, if I were to square them and add them together, and squaring was like multiplying it by itself. So if I were to square this leg and square this leg and then add them together, it would always be equal to whatever the hypotenuse is squared. I think he said that was true for every right triangle in the known universe. So if that's true, that means that it must be true for this one. So let's try it. Let's see here. So this must be a leg, and this must be a leg, and this must be the hypotenuse. So I think I could probably do 7 squared, and I could probably do 4 squared, and I could probably get really mad at this point because Mr. Harmless is making me do this. But then I could keep going because I want to get this class over with. And so I think it equals this hypotenuse squared. Okay, now I'm going to think. Now, it seems like 7 squared is 49. If I don't know, I would probably grab my calculator. 49. 4 squared I know is 4 times 4 is 16. And it equals x squared. And then 49 plus 16. Ooh, my brain is too tired to do that, so I'm going to grab my calculator and turn my calculator on. 49 plus 16 equals 65. And so I go 65 equals x squared. And I'd probably be thinking, how did he say to do this? Something, I got to get rid of that square. Oh, the opposite of squaring is square rooting. So let's do the square root of both sides. I think that what that does is get rid of this squared. So that means that the x would equal the square root of 65. Ooh, I don't know how to do that. I better grab my calculator again. Square root, second. Where's it? Oh, there it is right there. Square root 65 equals 8.06. Let me drop this over here. Oh, come on. There we go. Let me get rid of this calculator out of my way. Let me make this a little bit smaller because it's covering up my thought bubble. Put it over here. So the square root of 65 was 8, right? Square root of 65 was 8.06. Well, I'm going to round it off. The 6, that'll make that 8.1, approximately. So BC is approximately 8.1. Ooh, that was challenging. If you have any questions, ask Mr. Harmless. He's a professional math explainer. Thank you for watching.